the real problem with Liz Cheney and the Republican Party, and why Elise Stefanik might be somebody that we need to give a little more consideration to. What's up, everybody? I'm Quisha King, and today we're going to be talking about Liz Cheney and Elise Stefanik. The controversy is that Liz Cheney has made some really troubling remarks regarding President Trump, the impeachment, and what happened on January 6th. So it is one thing to question if someone has the right to question an election. It is one thing to have an opinion about it. It is quite something else when you are a House member and you have stated things that are not true. So, for example, Liz Cheney has come out and said that she thought that President Trump was responsible for what happened on January 6th. Well, that is troubling to me because, number one, the fact is that he told people, I don't know how many times you have to say this, it doesn't even really matter because people will already just be in their corner, but we have to say it because it's the truth. He told people to go and peacefully protest. I mean, where can you tie peaceful protest and storming the Capitol? I don't know how you can mix those two things together. So he told people to peacefully protest, and also at the time, people were storming the Capitol while he was still speaking. People were already out getting rambunctious while he was still speaking. So I'm really unclear on how President Trump can be responsible when he clearly said peacefully protest. That's just like if I was to tell my kids, don't do something, and they do what I did not tell them to do, and then somebody says, well, it's your fault because you told them to do it. It's like, no, I told them not to do it. But anyway, so that's the problem. And I think that a lot of these politicians forget that they were elected to do the will of their constituents. You're not elected to go into the House, the Senate, local government, the state government, and do whatever you want to do. Your job is to do what we, the people, want. And so we have to remember that these are servant positions. These are positions that are meant to serve the people. And regardless of what Liz Cheney thinks is right or wrong, her constituents are in support of President Trump. And it's her job to fulfill the duties of her constituents. So that's problem number one. Number two, she's supporting something that is an outright lie. She's saying that President Trump was responsible for this. That is a problem for the Republican Party because A, it's bad messaging. B, it makes us look like we are not united, when the majority of us are united, meaning in the fact that we want to fight for Americans, that we want to have border control, immigration, legal immigration, fortified legal immigration, that we want low taxes, that we want, just we're pro-life, that we just stand for certain things. And when you have the base that is geared up, we're ready to fight. We are ready to fight in a way, and politically, meaning with our votes, meaning with our protests, our peaceful protests, if we choose to, meaning with all of the rights that are given to us by the Constitution. So when she goes against these things, factual law, that is a problem. So the Republican Party has decided that they are going to try and oust her from her position as House GOP chairman, which is the third most powerful position in the Republican Party House. So right now we have the minority leader, which is Kevin McCarthy. And then we have Steve Scalise, who is the whip. So he whips the votes for different laws that are being passed or trying to be passed. And then we have Liz Cheney. So she is the chairman of the House GOP. And so they want to oust her because of her remarks against President Trump, her non-factual remarks at that. And they're proposing Elise Stefanik. And I hope I'm saying her last name right, but she has been since 2019, and since or maybe 2018, when the first impeachment was underway, She was very vocal and very feisty. You know, it was good to see Republicans stand up and fight for President Trump, and that's sort of how she gained her notoriety. When the first impeachment trial was going on, she was very vocal and just made some really great arguments. And so since then, she has sort of, you know, been a name that people have been paying attention to, been a person that people have been paying attention to. And so the issue, what I have found troubling with Elise, is her vote for the Equality Act. Now, if you don't know the Equality Act, it is a law that is trying to be passed to amend the Civil Rights Act to include transgender and sexual orientation, which is already in the Civil Rights Act. But anyway, I will put a link below for the Equality Act. But it is very troubling because it focuses on equity and not equality. And it basically removes the Civil Rights Act for justly equality and promotes a idea that we should be promoted and lifted up based on identities, which is absolute nonsense. It's everything that we have fought against in this country in the last, I don't know, 100 years. So that's a little troubling for me. But that doesn't, just because, you know, for me, just because you voted for one thing that I am strongly against, that doesn't mean that you won't be a good representative of the Republican Party. However, because that bill is so divisive and it's so against so many things that we stand for, as certainly for me as a person of faith, and also as a conservative, that really does make me question, like, like, it makes me want to do a little digging. So let me know what you guys think in the comments section below. Do you think that Elise Stefanik is a good person to nominate for this House GOP chairperson? Or do you think that Liz Cheney should be kept? I do not think that Liz Cheney should be kept, but I am considering and, you know, doing a little more digging into Elise Stefanik. We have to be very careful with who we give power to. So you guys be blessed and have a great rest of the day.